What is up, guys? Wraith here, Wraith Bearded Gaming. We're sitting right outside of Crushbone yet again, doing a little wishful thinking here because we're so close at this point. So we did pick up 8 after we lost it, and then padded it just a little bit. Now, we're going to stick our head back in Crushbone again, honestly, because it's probably the best place for us to go at this level range and because of where we're at. There's really not a better place that I can think of to be. At least we get a little bit of zone experience modifier. So even if we're just popping off greens, at least we get a chance at the pelts, so we can use the pelts to accelerate kind of going forward. Anything that's blue is we'll get more experience for anything blue here than we were anywhere else. We might actually also get lucky and potentially, awesome English this morning, potentially get ourselves a group, in which case we can, work a little, not quite so hard, I'll put it that way, but we'll kind of see what happens. It's off hours right now because we are kind of sneaking in the holidays, even though Greater Fate Arc still has quite a few people in it. But we're going to jump around a little bit. We're going to make this push. We're going to try to get level 9 mem some of these spells that we got. Got a couple of ideas going forward kind of after that for some other spots we might want to check out. We'll just kind of see what kind of action we can get here in Crushbone. But we're going to get some things rolling, and I will check back in with you guys here in a little bit. All right, gang. Well, we have our little group finally dissolved. As you can see, we got a pretty good chunk of experience. We are knocking on the door to level 9. Unfortunately, we lost our healer. We got nice and set up in the slave pit areas in the back of Crushbone. Took a minute to break in. The little rogue we had was awesome. She was definitely out tanking me. I could not do anything to keep the damage away from her backstabbing, but we were able to get a pretty good group. We held it for a little while. Like I said, we lost our healer, unfortunately, because real life matters, unfortunately, even over the holidays. So we are going to hope, and I think we should have plenty. We're going to sell some gear here, look for make a mad dash to Paladin. We should, with the belts we gathered, have enough to get 9, a little bit of padding, and finally get some spells. So I'll check back in with you guys here in just a minute and save you from the boring run to Paladin, but we will be right back. All right, guys, we have made it. We are back at our little friend Canlo Newsback. Let's get some spells and a little bit of cash because we're turning all this other stuff. I'm hoping. No, it's getting kind of close. We might actually not make it with the belts that we have here. We might have run all this way for nothing, because we don't look like we're going to have enough belts to push it over the edge. Yeah, we do not. I thought that we were going to have enough belts to push it over the edge. So not quite. So we're going to have to go out and play chop chop on a few more things. Apparently I should have saved up more belts before we got here. So we will check back in yet again in a few minutes. I thought we were going to be wrapping up here with some spell memorization, but I guess not just yet. So back we go again. All right, guys, it has finally happened for our little bitty paladin draft in here. We have finally gotten to level 9. We didn't really pad the level, so we need to be careful or we're going to lose all the glorious spells that we just got. But we got the level. We ran outside. We scribed some spells. What we did do real quick is we ran over here to Felwith. We're right inside of the Felwith gates. We ran inside to talk to the lovely paladins here so we could train up in like the casting skills really quick. So like conjuration, abjuration, all that kind of stuff. Channeling gave us automatically. We also had to learn meditate so we could actually get our mana back faster. So one huge milestone, I guess, milestone in little paladin's life, right, is getting the spells. It's where they kind of start to diverge, from just a straight warrior. Now around this time, of course, warriors start dual wielding, turn into little beasts. They get their little beast mode, berserker mode, when I start getting my little spells. Now, again, nothing that we have right now is going to be spectacular. I mean, we have courage, which all of our spells are basically level 1 cleric spells, I believe. So nothing's going to be too spectacular. I mean, courage is going to give us, I think it's like 20 hit points and like 5 armor class, maybe something like that. We do have our little self heal, which is nice. We can finally start padding ourselves a little bit heal. We have Yelp, which would be, that's a nice one because it just gives us our little, when we jump up here and we watch our strength, gives us like 10 strength, which just helps us hit, that much harder. It's nothing enormous and spectacular, but it gives you a strength bonus, it gives you an armor class bonus, and it lasts until you're able basically to cast it again, which is also pretty cool. And then we finally, we got our little flash of light. We didn't get Cure Poison. That's not what I'm going to keep on the bar at all unless we think we're going to mess with spiders. But so the bigger one, it should be Flash of Light. And Flash of Light should help us a little bit with aggro. So when we're actually grouping and trying to tank something, we might actually have a chance of maybe keeping it upon ourselves. What is funny, if you go and I popped a little level mob on the way over here, if you haven't engaged them at all and you just pop them with blind randomly and you just watch them run around like idiots until it wears off. But anyway, so there we go. We're finally level 9. We finally got our spells. We'll see what we can do here. I think one of our next piece of the mission is, rather than just sit here, let's run to the bank real quick and fix up this coin situation. But I think one of the other things that we're probably going to look at here pretty quickly, just because we noticed it real fast when we were trying to tank for our little group there in Crushbone, was that we take an absolute beating. Now, it's somewhat to be expected when you're, fighting the yellow or red mob. It's, there's no amount of twinking that's going to handle some of that. I mean, if the mob's just too much bigger than you, he's going to beat on you. That's kind of all that's going to happen. But what we're hoping for is that we can take a couple spots and fill in probably some banded armor. Bronze is still selling at somewhat of a premium right now, where people are basically trying to sell that stuff at about 2 plat or more per AC, and I'm just not down with that. So we'll get some banded most likely, find somebody to make it some banded, fill in on the leg spots, maybe the arms. It depends how can we maximize, right, our armor class. And if we absolutely have to, if it's the right time, we might let go of our little scarab chest piece here, because while it was nice and it was relatively free, I think that was one of the pieces where we went down to the vendor, I think, and actually bought the shell off of vendor. But it is only 8 armor class. I believe that the bandit is pretty much twice that. So twice your armor class is probably better overall than just having the 1 stamina. And we might keep some of the other pieces around, one just to kind of save us some cash on the bandit. We might go for the bigger pieces first. We'll see. So we just got to about 37 plat. We don't have to worry about spells for a while. So now it's what can we do, to make ourselves a little beefier, I guess. Another thing we should probably honestly look at is working some low end stuff on the finger and ear slots maybe. You know, maybe get a little bit of small strength earring or a small strength ring, something like that. We'll kind of see what happens. But it has been an up and down day, this little adventure. Everything fell just shy, unfortunately, kind of everything we did. Our little group couldn't go the distance. We ran back with the Crushbone belts, and they weren't enough to go the distance. Ran back to Crushbone, started filming. Still wasn't enough, so hopefully now, right, we'll get a little traction when we jump in next time. But this can be a great spot to call it. Had a great time, even though with all the running back around, back and forth. We finally have spells, so I'm super happy about that. We can finally pretend to be an actual paladin now. But with all of that said, I hope everybody had a good time watching. As always, you know, if you like what we're doing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Keep tabs on the channel. And until next time, guys, have a good night. We'll see you then. Bye. So just tacking on a quick kind of addendum here. Apparently, what happened when we were training, and I didn't see it the first time, you can kind of see it on the screen right here where our mouse is flying around. We actually can't train and meditate yet. So while it showed it on the trainer and I hit it the first time, I wasn't looking. Basically, you get this little error basically that happens. So while my skills currently show that I have a 1 and meditate, I can't actually train in it until level 12. So for now, we'll just practice our spells, kind of make the most of them, so we fizzle as least as possible. So when we're actually trying to use them, they are useful and make the most out of the mana that we get. So just kind of sitting here doing this. But just kind of recapping on that really quick, because I had made the comment about training and meditate and some other things where I actually don't have the ability to meditate yet. So for right now, we're just kind of sitting on our rump. But just kind of a quick fill in, tacking that onto the end there. I'm sure that some people who've already been playing Paladins or Shadow Knights might have already known and been like, nope, you don't have it yet. So sure enough, we sure don't. So maybe in a few episodes. Like I said, just tacking that on. Night, guys.